All right, guys, today what I'm going to share with you is an actual food journal where I've been looking at what a lady is eating every day for the last 3 weeks. And I'm going to share with you the 3 mistakes that were made in her weight loss journey and then how to correct those. So let's start with this lady is trying to lose about 25 pounds. So it's her 3rd week. So we've already made some adjustments to this. And I'm going to run you through and I'm going to share the 3 things that she can improve on. If you're new to this, pick one thing to focus on for the first week or 2. Get really good at it, then add the next thing. But I'm going to share 3 ways you can make this better. This is a very common thing that I see people say to me, oh, I feel like I eat really good. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing results. So there's a lot of really good food and a lot of good choices on here, but she's not losing weight for these 3 reasons I'm going to share with you. So she had breakfast at 9, she had eggs and avocado. Great. So it's a lot of good food in there, a lot of good nutrients in there. She ate lunch at 12. She had chicken and a little cutie. It's basically like a little orange if you don't know. She had a snack at 4. It was yogurt, granola, and an apple. And then at dinner, she had salmon, which is one of the healthiest, best foods in the world. She had a sweet potato, also a great food. And then she had some corn. I think it was half of a corn on the cob. So here was mistake number 1. When you look at this, lots of good foods, but mostly all of her carbohydrates were later in the day. So good, but lots of carbohydrates, carbs. And then up here, there was only just a few carbs in that cutie. You want to flip that. Later in the day, your body is just kind of naturally slowing down. So putting carbs in means your body doesn't have a chance to burn it off. If you add it up here, and we put fruit or oatmeal, preferably old-fashioned oatmeal. And you got to be careful with that because a full serving of old-fashioned oatmeal can have 36 to 42 carbs. Your body can only process about 30 carbs at a time, unless you're exercising, about 30 carbs at a time. So that excess can get stored as fat. So you may not eat a full serving of that, and you want to be cautious. Don't add a whole bunch of stuff to it. You know, blueberries, honey, and too much of that just puts you over the number. Okay, but that's how she could have added a few more carbs up here. This one already had it, so she did okay up here. And what she could do though is she could take that sweet potato. Okay, great food, very nutrient dense. She could have half of it here. She could have half of it here, and it would automatically reduce the number of carbohydrates. All right, mistake number 2. We've seen how she can adjust this. We talked about the carbohydrates. This food right here, if you're trying to lose weight, you do not want to be eating a lot of corn. It's a vegetable, but it's very, very starchy. If you've heard of anything called the glycemic index, it's a ranking of how quickly something turns into sugar, gets into your bloodstream. Perfect score is 100. That's table sugar. Popcorn has a score of 99. So people look at that and they think it's low carbs and not a ton of calories. I'm going to eat popcorn as a healthy snack. Not when you're trying to lose weight. It's very, very starchy. So corn on the cob is really high ranked. I forget the exact number, but it's way up on the glycemic index. So if we just took that out and replaced it with something like a brighter green or pepper or something like that, replaced it, or asparagus. Greens are safe because they're usually lower in carbs. But that would be mistake number 2 that you could correct. Still eat very similar healthy things, but aid your weight loss. Here was mistake number 3. Okay, we talked about too many carbs at night, not enough in the morning. Talked about replacing the corn with a different kind of vegetable. Here was the other big one. That one right there. Well, this was a Yoplait yogurt. And so lots of carbs. But I want to focus in on granola. Don't be fooled by that. If you have a weight loss or body fat reduction goal, you should not be eating granola. Okay, it's packaged, it's processed. What you should do in place of that, or what I suggested for this lady, was to make this plain Greek yogurt, get that granola out of there, and then either just have the apple on its own or mix in some blueberries, raspberries, something in the berry family into that plain Greek yogurt, or even a little bit of like all natural honey. Those sugars and carbs your body receives differently. It knows what to do with them, it processes them, it burns them. This one right here that's been manufactured and packaged and processed and preserved, your body doesn't know what to do with it. So it just takes it and stores it as fat. So these are the 3 mistakes that I told her. I said, hey, let's focus on this one for the next week, which was more carbs early in the day, less carbs later in the day. But those are the other two things where she will start to see results in her weight loss. So if you found this helpful and you'd like more information like this, make sure you hit subscribe, ring the bell so that you get alerted each time that we post a new video like this. If nobody's told you today, I think you're amazing. You can live your peak life. You just got to keep doing little small things along the way, but I think you're awesome. So if nobody's told you that today, you're hearing it from me.